Hi everyone, it's me Melissa at Future Dreams House in the Dream Kitchen. This is a minestrone recipe for you to make with your loved ones. I hope you enjoy it. So, it's a quick recipe, it's very flexible using what you've got in your cupboards or maybe in your fridge left over. So we'll start our soup off with a lot of onions. I had like one yellow, one red, bit of leek, get it all in. Yum. Okay, so onions are cooking away. Use whatever oil you like, coconut oil, olive oil. It's a minestrone, so olive oil would be more traditional, but use whatever oil you like. Onions cooking away. Let's have a little look at our veg. We've packed this full of veg. That's why I love a minestrone. It's so suited to all sorts of veg. We've got celery, we've got sweet potatoes. You can use any root veg you like. Potato, sweet potato, squash, carrots we've got here, garlic. If you've got any fresh tomatoes left, we're coming out of tomato season, but if you've got any left, you can add them in, or use 2 tins of your favorite quality chopped tomatoes. I've got here chickpeas and some other beans mixed together here. These are cooked. If you want to go ahead and cook your own ones up, go for it, but I love the convenience of the tinned chickpeas in this recipe. All right, so I've got ahead in prepping my vegetables. I'm gonna get the celery in now. If you're like me, there's always a couple of sticks of celery that need using up. Let's get some carrots in. You can just roughly chop all your veg because not only are soups delicious, they are very forgiving. So what I like about this is if I want to put, if I just feel so tired and the thought of cooking is just too much, I remind myself that soups don't need lots of brain power. They don't need lots of skill and thought. You can really roughly chop. And if you've got a food processor actually, let it whiz up all your veg for you. You've got a beautiful pot here simmering away now of your vegetables, your celery, your carrots, your red onions. It looks beautiful. Right, we'll let that cook away. So our veg has had a little bit of time to fry, get very flavorful. We're just gonna add in some ingredients. We've got some oregano. What else have we got? Let's get some tomato puree in there. Let's get some, we haven't added any salt and pepper yet. Just get a good season. Pepper. What else do we need? Let's add some of our tomatoes now. If you've got passata, use passata. I've got 2 tins of tomatoes here. Lovely. And I've got some veg stock here. And as I say, this is this minestrone-esque soup. I'm not cooking it the traditional minestrone way, but it's got the essence of that lovely dish, that comforting dish that we know. I'm going to, let's add in these sweet potatoes as well. It's perfect time for them to cook. And I didn't add the garlic. No problem, we'll add the garlic now. See, you don't even need to worry about the order. But if you'd like the proper full recipe, we'll give it to you on the Future Dreams website. But if you like to be a bit slapdash like me, you can just follow this video. So you've got all your veg in there, your tomatoes, your broth, bring it up, pop the lid on, keep a little eye on it, stir it occasionally, let it have about 10 to 15 minutes to all get together. In the meantime, you can drain and rinse your beans, your chickpeas, grab your leftover pasta. Now, depending on how, I like to eat this on the sofa with a big spoon and a big bowl. You could chop up your pasta. If you've got leftover spaghetti, I really recommend you scissor that up because that will be easier to eat. Or just use the really small little pastas. And pasta-wise, use whatever type you like. There's so many amazing lentil pastas, chickpea pastas, spelt pastas, quinoa pastas. Go for it, whatever you like. And the nice thing about this recipe, you know how when you're cooking a pasta dish, you want it to be al dente and delicious. Here, if it's soft and falling apart, that makes the soup thicker and even more delicious. And this is a great way to introduce lots of vegetables into your dish. When my father was unwell, we used to take flasks of this into the hospital, and it was a really nice way of getting lots of vegetables into him, even when he didn't feel like it, because it's got that comforting childhood feel, the tomato with the cheese on top, which he really enjoyed. And loads of my friends, myself, when I'm feeling poorly, this is the sort of flavor profile I'm looking for. So I really recommend this. As I say, loads of us have eaten a million minestrones in our lives, but the nice thing about a minestrone is that we can make it exactly as we like. And I really think the best thing about a minestrone, like most comforting traditional dishes, is they taste even better the next day. So make them ahead, let them sit, develop flavor in the fridge. So our soup would be just beautiful, absolutely beautiful like this, but we want to add some heartiness from the beans. So we've got a couple of tins of drained and rinsed chickpeas and some cannellini beans there. I love all the beans, and you can see it's already thickening up. So this is when you decide if you want to add more liquid, more stock. We've got some leftover pasta here. Let's add a couple of handfuls. This is cooked. You could add uncooked pasta, and then you'll definitely need to add a bit more water because it will suck up all that liquid. I can already see we're getting nice and thick here, so let's just top it to cover. So just work it out by eye, really. You basically want enough to cover it. Feel really good just stirring that comforting pot, knowing it's gonna make so many lovely, hearty, big portions. Chuck the lid back on. Right. The final stage, arguably I think the most important, because I always want to eat more veg, but it's particularly the leafy dark green veg that I want to include more and more in my cooking. So, you know, if you have a smoothie, blitz some frozen spinach through it. If you have eggs, chop some rocket through it. For dinner, just always think, how can I get another handful in? That's what I try and do anyway. So you've got your beautiful, big, hearty minestrone style soup. Now we have got some baby spinach and we have got some chard. We've ripped it up and we just sort of add it in now. Kale would be lovely. Let's get it all in. Are you familiar with the disappearing spinach act? I'm sure you are. It basically is, you think you have tons of spinach and then it cooks down to nothingness. So always put more than you think. If you don't have any leafy greens, now's the time to add some frozen peas. I always keep frozen peas in the fridge because they always come to the rescue. So I've put my greens on top, you saw, without stirring. I put the lid on, they'll wilt, it will be lovely. I'll give it a final stir through and then we'll serve up. My mum would make it on a Sunday and we'd do the EastEnders omnibus to this soup. And she would always, any stale bread, she would like roast it up into sort of garlicky croutons or just bake it up. She would always sprinkle some water over the top to sort of rehydrate it. Lots of cheese. When I was a child, I preferred cheddar. Now I like a bit of Parmesan or any kind of hard British cheese, supporting the British cheese industry, of course. Yum. So we've got our cheese on top. Let's get some extra greens from the parsley on top as well. Wow. And I didn't, again, add any chili to this. So if you want to have a little sprinkle of chili, now is your moment. Or you can put chili oil. I'm so excited about this. And you can see we've got tons left over as well. So there we go, sort of freestyle minestrone, packed full of veg. I don't know how many different veg we've got in there. I'm gonna guesstimate 8, with some hearty beans, some leftover pasta, and lots of lovely broth to make you feel really lovely and comforted. I hope you enjoy it. And you can get all the recipes on the Future Dreams website. We're in the Dream Kitchen, come and visit us. Thank you so much. And if you love everything you can see in the kitchen, we will put up a picture, a tour of the kitchen, and you can see where everything's from. We've had so many generous sponsors. Made.com have provided so many things. This beautiful kitchen designed by Sam. She told me, we were chatting years ago, that she wanted to base it on my kitchen at home, and I feel very at home here. Come and see it for yourself.